I want to help you diagnose your sales issues and answer the 3 most common rejections out there. So first things first, I was talking to a buddy of mine and he was like, hey man, I have some problems and I have some struggles and I need some help. I said, sure, fire away. And he was like, my sales guy says that he's not closing as many deals as he is. He says that he's following up, and quite honestly, he's not getting the results that I really want him to get. So what do you do when that happens? Well, the first thing is use the system that you have. If you don't have a CRM, I highly recommend getting a CRM. I will leave a link down to HubSpot down below. It is the CRM that I absolutely and utterly adore. It's probably the best one out there, and it's free. I'm not just telling you this because I want you to use it. I'm telling you this because if you are using Excel sheets or using something else, chances are pretty good things are going awry, and there's no accountability. And this is the most important part. If there's no accountability, that person's saying, hey, you know what? I made a bunch of these calls. Did it actually happen? You don't actually know because there's no data inside of there. There's no responses from emails. There's no tracking of anything. There's a whole lot of information that's completely missed. So implementing and utilizing the system that you're supposed to have is the first and most important thing to do. The second part of that is not only making sure that they're utilizing the system, but making sure that they are actually putting in the data. It's one thing to say that you did something, but it's another thing to actually show proof that you've done it. I see this a lot of times with businesses where they have salespeople that are completely unmonitored. The importance of having a system is twofold. One, it's going to make that salesperson way more profitable. I mean, way more profitable. And on top of that, it allows the salesperson to get out of trouble if they're actually doing their job. The reason why is because your emails are recorded, your phone calls could be recorded. Basically, every interaction that you have with a customer can be recorded. This gives the salesperson the opt-out when they say, hey, you know what? Maybe our pricing isn't right. And with a CRM like HubSpot, you can actually go in and see who's visiting the website, how often they're visiting, and where they're visiting the website. This is huge because if you have a knowledge base article or a blog that says how to afford this or why I can't afford this, right? This now gives you proof that shows, hey, this person literally cannot afford our services, thus giving the salesperson the scapegoat, or proving that, hey, you know what, this person took the time to go through everything, and maybe that this is the avenue that this person needed to go down. Either way, this is great for the salesperson, and it's also great for the business because the business has full transparency of what's going on. Now, the second thing I wanted to talk about is your most common objections. Those being, I can't afford it, now's not a good time, or I went with a competitor, or maybe I'm thinking about going with a competitor. These have the most simple answers possible, but nobody ever has them ready to pull out of their holster to use whenever it's necessary. How do I know this? Because I literally talk to salespeople all the time. They are unsure of how to move forward or unsure of what to say. And the answers are so incredibly simple. Probably way simpler than you would even think. First thing, I can't afford this. Well, if it's a one-time payment, for example, if you're in the landscaping industry or you're doing a bit of construction or anything like that, hey, you know what? I totally get that. It's a massive amount of money up front. Would it be easier if I broke it into payments? Now, you could charge a little more for payments, and yes, it's a little more risk for you, but being able to offer your product and service to that person in exchange for payments over time drastically increases the likelihood of you closing it. Most people just say, oh, you know what, sounds good, or they can't afford it. And this is almost always so wrong. Now, if it's a monthly payment, there may be a couple other areas that you can do. For example, an onboarding fee versus a monthly, a larger monthly fee. Just things like that. Maybe they have a lot of money in the bank right now, but they know they're not going to down the road. Maybe you can charge a lump sum up front or an annual fee and then monthly fees afterwards. That will help somebody afford it. If they know that their busiest month is in December, you can say, hey, you know what, in January, I'm going to put on that massive annual fee that will drastically deduct the overall monthly payment. It's just getting creative. It's really thinking about, hey, you know what can I do better? What can I do to convince this person that they can actually afford it? Because most people, when they tell themselves, you know what, I can't afford this, it's not because they actually can't afford it. It's because they're just not sure how it's going to work out, and they're terrified to take a massive lump of money out of their account and hand it over to somebody. Why wouldn't you be? Everybody doesn't want to go through with that. That's why everybody has monthly payments. They love Netflix because it's a small monthly payment. Instead of saying, hey, you're going to pay us $150 a year, just pay us $15 a month and you can use our service and you can stop whenever you want. That's the best part about it. Now, this may fall for many of you in a great spot, and for other people with a more monthly basis, it's a little more difficult. But either way, whatever works for you and your business, just think about and get a little creative. Now, the second question is, now's not a good time. right? Hey, you know what? What's preventing you from moving over? Now's not a good time. Well, why is it not a good time? Chances are pretty good you got that person on the phone because they filled out a contact form or they put in a request for more information. Either way, unless you're cold calling, that's the only one that you kind of have to give a pass on because it might not be the right time. They might not be ready. And I'm sure that people in the comment section down below are going to be like, no, there's a million comments for that. You're calling that person. They might not be ready for it. But if that person filled out a piece of contact information, whether it's a form or whether it's a call us today or whatever it may be, that person may not move forward because they say it's not the right time. What's stopping you from moving forward? Always, always, always ask that. That is putting the nail in the coffin with a sledgehammer. It is so abrupt and it works so much of the time because most people are never ready for that question or comment or rebuttal. What's stopping you from moving forward? Maybe it's, hey, I don't have the money. Okay, well now it brings it back to the money conversation. Or maybe it's just, hey, you know what, I don't feel like it. Okay, you can't force somebody. Or maybe it's, I'm gonna go with one of your competitors, which is gonna be my third statement. But other than that, what's preventing you from moving forward? Why can't we move forward today if we had to move forward? If that person is qualified, they have the budget, they have the mindset, they're ready to take action, but they can't pull the trigger today, ask them why. I need to check with my wife. Sounds great. Let's put some time on the calendar tomorrow or the next day. Hey, you know what? I totally agree with you. But if that's the case, are you prepared to ask the questions or answer the questions that she might have? If you're not, let's put some time on the calendar tomorrow, or what's a good time that works for you? That way we can all jump on a call and resolve this issue. These are common rebuttals to common statements. It's that simple. You just have to think about what would prevent that person from moving forward. Now the third one is, I went with a competitor, and most people never ask why. It is literally that simple. Was it cost? Did you factor in the cost appropriately? Was it an outside factor? Was it you think they do better work? If you think they do better work, then that means you got to step it up a little more. There's so many different little hidden variables in there that you have to get through by using quality questioning. It's not quality questioning techniques. Just ask. Ask questions that you would genuinely want the answer to. Hey, why'd you go with a competitor? I'd love to know. Was it pricing? Was it because they were going to do the work faster? Maybe you're a really busy shop and they went with somebody who can get the job done sooner. There's your answer. You know that they were in a rush to get it done. But ask these things. And if you lose a deal, right? You have everything lined up, it's ready to go, and that person falls off, follow up with that person. I'm not saying follow up with a sale. Hey, you know what, Sally, Sue, or Jill, or Joe, or Mike, or whomever it may be, ask them, hey, you know what, why did you go with somebody else? I'm just curious. Were you not ready to move forward? What happened that you didn't take action today? Either way, it doesn't really matter. But you, as the business owner, now know, hey, you know what? This person didn't follow up when they said they were going to follow up. Kind of gave me a bad influence on what kind of job you guys were going to do. There's a variety of answers, and all of them are fine. But knowing what that customer is going through is only going to make your business significantly better. So I hope this video helps. I hope you guys found some value in this. This is something that I literally just got off the phone with, and I was like, you know what, I gotta make a video about this. This is a common thing that I see all the time. Make sure your salespeople are doing what they're supposed to be. Implement a system, and those are the 3 most common rejections that people find, and these are the appropriate responses to them, so that way you can either move closer to a sale or move closer to the no, which means, hey, you get to close up that file and you're done. That's the best part. So hope you guys found value in this. Like I said, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, little notification bell. I'm gonna go hang out with my dog now, and I'll see you guys later.